At 6:30, we'll call this special meeting of the Joshua City Council to order. We do have a quorum present. We'll move into our first regular agenda item. Number one, discuss, consider, and possible action regarding an ordinance amending the fire flow requirements within the city of Joshua, reducing the required fire flow from 1,500 gallons per minute to 1,000 gallons per minute. Mr. Peacock.
So this is in response to our discussion at the last council meeting about bringing something forward that's been put together. This allows us to get in line with what really is available out there to us without having to increase significant costs to developers and other folks. And we've also got some other things that Jay and I will be working on in the coming months, options for people that, for example, we've got one little development that's been given a pretty significant cost to upgrade water lines for $250,000 for 3 houses. But we've worked out with the developer, we can sprinkle those houses put fire suppression in them for way less. So we've got some things like that we're gonna look at where we can make some options for some people where we've got limited flow. But this reduces that flow. And of course, also still gives the fire chief some authority for special businesses, special operations, maybe a hazardous material facility where he can specifically demand more for that type of structure. That doesn't take away the ability to do that.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I got one question. Demand more, but I understand demanding, but how are we gonna get it?
That they would have to build it. I mean, if it was required, just like any other infrastructure, if it was a industrial complex coming in that was gonna have flammable stuff, whatever that needed more water, we could require that individually. And if they build it, they will have to build that infrastructure at that point, just like they do now. But it would be for, not all buildings would need that.
Any other questions? Chief, you good with this?
Yes, we'll talk about it, we're making the appropriate measures in case we need to do something with our training. Just want to make sure that in the future, Jason works with this to get to where we need to be.
And this is an option. It's a minimum of this, nothing below it. So if we do want to require more, will the areas that utilize this be specifically marked so we know if there is a fire there, that the tanker would be dispatched at that point? Okay. Okay. Any other discussion, questions? Okay, I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve ordinance amending the fire flow requirements within the city of Joshua, reducing the fire flow from 1,500 per minute to 1,000 gallons per minute.
I'll second it.
Okay, I've got a motion by Johnny, seconded by Dakota to accept the ordinance amending the fire flow requirements within the city of Joshua, reducing it from the current 1,500 gallons per minute to 1,000 gallons per minute. Any discussion? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Item number 2, discuss, consider a possible action on an interlocal agreement for the operation of the Stop Offender Program and Special Crimes Unit. Mr. Peacock.
Mary, this is an annual agreement that we sign. Now that we've got an officer back on the task force, an undercover guy. So this is one that all cities sign. The agreement is in there. I had a couple of questions come up before the meeting. I think, John, did we get all your answers for you?
Yes, sir.
Our representative, voting representative on their board is the police chief, typically, and then the DA and county attorney round off. Every city with a representative has a voice on the board also. And this just continues that. This gets us going for the current term.
Okay. The Stop unit was heavily involved with the recent thing at the hotel.
They had the lead on that, and they're working on a few other things right now too that that are not tied to that, but things of similar nature.
I know the amounts of arrests and things that they sent that report out was last month that showed it. How much they've been active and our officer's been involved in an awful lot of stuff here.
Yeah,
this
he
last
has. They,
year.
they
So
really like him and he's having a good time over there. He really likes what he's doing. But yeah, they send that to us monthly. I'll make sure that you guys get that. If
Okay.
you're not seeing it, we'll get that out to you to let you know what they've been doing and where.
any other questions? I'll accept the motion.
Make a motion to approve it.
Awesome.
Okay, I have a motion by Mike, seconded by Johnny to accept the interlocal agreement for the operations of the Stop Offender Program Special Crimes Unit. Any discussion? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Item number 3, discuss, consider, and possible action on approval of the amendment to the communication system agreement with Johnson County.
This also is an annual radio communication agreement that we use through the sheriff's office. And as they, I guess this is as they make some changes moving towards this new system, they've had to extend some things. And so we're just staying caught up, agreeing to stay on board until they're ready to make the switch.
Did our fees increase this year?
I don't believe the fee did increase this year, no.
Any other questions? I'll accept the motion.
Make a motion, we approve the amendment to the communication system agreement with Johnson County.
I'll second it.
Okay, got a motion by Shelley, seconded by Angela to accept the communication systems agreement with Johnson County. Any discussion? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Item number 4, discuss, consider possible action on the purchasing of a Spartan Metro Star fiscal year 24 S-180 model 3106 by 12 apparatus. Mr. Peacock.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As you guys know, we've got our 2011 E1, we've been in the shop one, it's been on the road over the past couple of years. The repair cost and decreasing performance is underscoring the need for replacement of our new engine. It's also affected our operational reliability, the thing when it's in the shop at the bar, another engine from the ESP. And we keep having unexpected breakdowns with this engine. We got it back today from the shop and it's still ready. But today, over the past, let me go back a little bit, over the past 5 years, we spent nearly $60,000 in repairs, with the last 2 years being around $40,000 each. 2022, 2023 was $38,000, and this year we're on track to exceed that. So right now, we've got the opportunity to purchase this engine, which would be available, we're hoping by next September. And the price of it and everything is in your package. They're willing to give us $125,000 for our old engine to trade in. And with that, I'll answer your questions. You can see the specifications in there. It's 1,000 gallons. Then 20 gallons of foam, 2,000 GPM. Much more reliable and safer for our guys.
Hey, Jay, did you say over the last 5 years it was 60,000 or 600,000
No, 60,000.
over the last 5 years?
Yep, 58, 874, 13. But the last 2 years is where it's really starting to show its age. And with these fire trucks, keep in mind this fire truck's 13 years old. They're usually replaced in 7 to 10 years.
And is that trade-in amount, that's more than what we were?
It's more than what I thought we were gonna get, and I'm still gonna try to get some more out of it. I looked online to see what a trade-in comparable to ours is, and anywhere from 100 to 200,000, but the ones that were listed at 200,000 have already been online for a year, almost, and not selling. So with this vendor, they'll take this trade-in, they'll take everything and handle it for us, and
don't see the cost.
Let's see if I'll see it.
If you look at if you look at the proposal, above total contract, it says straight in.
Yeah, I was expecting it wrong.
So this was just added right before the meeting. You may have to refresh your page.
Okay.
There it is.
And the price of this apparatus, there's a price for all the equipment on it. The equipment for 216,605. That's for all the equipment that's identical to the ESD apparatuses. So if we run a call with them, we can tell another firefighter from another department, hey, go grab the sacks. They'll know exactly where to go and get it. This is painted similar to our scheme. This is out the door. There we go. I know it's pretty much got all we did out of this 2011.
Got a couple of questions, Mayor.
Hey, Johnny?
Who is responsible for maintenance of this equipment and how did it get in that bad a shape?
That's a good question, and that's why it's.
Are you the one in charge now?
I am, and that, these past 2 years is, I've been here 2 years as of 3 days.
You should have got rid of that thing 2 years ago, sounds like.
Yes, sir, or maintained it a little bit better, but it's, with our streets and as many calls as we run, and however we work these trucks, you have to maintain it and keep them in check. The next thing that it needs is shots, springs, the front springs are flat, and the cab tilt lift cylinders are leaking.
How many miles does it have on it?
40,000.
What's average for those?
That's a little above average, but we keep them on, we run 10 square miles, but we also go other side of 35 sometimes.
So if you can wait till September to get it, why can't we wait till the new budget?
Well, we're fixing it right now, and then after we get the shocks and the springs done, it'll get us through. I drove it from Mansfield back, from the shop back to make sure it was safe. If we waited that long, I don't know how much longer it's gonna be before we have to sink another $40,000 into it.
If I understand right, we place the order, say by the end of this week. For production purposes, it won't be ready to go into service till about September. Correct?
All right.
All right, and as far as our financing options, Mike?
We've got a couple, they offer a lease program through Metro, which I'm not a huge fan of because it saves us a little bit of money initially, but it's based on a 5 or 6 year lease, and then you just have a continual payment on a fire truck. I'd prefer to get to a point where they're paid off and have a couple of years. It's not much less than what government capital will finance it for. I've got 10, 12, and 15 year options. You've got those in your packets also. And those would be annual payments or however we wanted them. Usually we do annual payments with them. And so we would, and it also has a payoff option that, if we wanted to pay it off early, we would have the ability to do that after a certain period of term, which I think is 3 years. That's who financed, I believe, the last one. I'm not
Sure. I think Capital Finance was.
I know we've got some stuff with them. We've
Yeah.
used them before. They've been pretty reliable for us. The interest rate is, the lease interest rate's a little bit less. It's not much. It's, 0.25% maybe. It's not a whole lot, probably not enough to worry with, but we just get, I think long-term, we're better off purchasing and not leasing them.
Any other questions?
I mean, when would we have to sign the note? In September, right?
Well, we'd start the process now. There's a certain amount that's required down. We'd work that out with government capital, but we would start making payments on it until after it was here. Whereas the last one we got, I think we paid a payment or two before we ever saw it, but
Yeah.
we prepaid it. Well, we got a pretty good discount when we prepaid it, but this one is already, I think, in production. It's just not out yet. Am I correct? This is one that they've bought, a spec model, then they bring it into their place and outfit it. So it's actually already being built. This will get us in though before, where we can customize it to put our features on it. Then it'll come to Metro and Mansfield and they'll put all the other stuff on it. When it shows up here, I think they'll have to load hose on it and put water on it and back it up.
Any other questions?
I'm sorry, Mayor.
Go ahead.
If we wait, this particular manufacturer, they buy 25 of these units at a time, and then they sell them before they even start making them, it seems like. And there's a reason for that. It's because they're taking 2 years from, almost 3 years from some manufacturer. So we've got the opportunity, there's one coming online now, and it's gonna be ready, it'll come off the factory, out of the factory in June, and then Mansfield will get it, it'll be around 3 months after that to get it done. And of course, there's a new engine and emissions things coming out. This one's got the X12 motor, the Cummins, it doesn't have all those emissions on it.
And that's another 100,000 or so on the price is what they're saying.
They always say the best that they tell me.
If, so we'd have the down payment and then probably the first payment wouldn't be then until next budget year.
Correct. And we can set it up. She told me we can work on the details and terms. My guess would be is if we buy it, we'll take on the debt now. The first payment won't be until next year. And we'll just have Marcy invest the money while it's sitting here rather than just set. They weren't crazy about doing, like, I think there's 10% due at some point, and then there's some points throughout the process where money is due. And rather than get through all that, I think we would go through that process, but while we had the money, we would let her do what in short-term investments, whether there's not till those due to be paid out.
How's this affect our overall budget outlook?
Year last time.
Until we get the deal with the ESD finalized, and they are talking about it on the 20th with his board to see exactly what kind of money we're going to be saving. I mean, I am pretty comfortable saying that we would make it up. But I don't have all the exact figures just yet of how there's still some things that we're going through about equipment and who's going to maintain it and some other things that we're right now we're trying to make sure we've got staff taken care of and all the people taken care of. And, but I expect we'll know that fairly quick. Their timeline is still April. So we're going to have 6 months of some savings that we'll be able to recognize.
Okay. Do you feel like if we wait till our regular meeting to make a decision on this, it could make a difference on the time frame for getting the unit?
These things are selling quick. This round of 25, there's only 3 or 4 left. We'd take that risk, and then we'd have to wait another year.
That's how we get into having a quality shop.
Yeah, this year that truck's probably been about 3 or 4 months out of 12 months.
I'm feeling it to go forward immediately. We talked about it last month in our meeting, just briefly, and got the briefing from him, and if I'm not mistaken, it was like 10 units or 12 units at that point. Now we're down to 3.
And I think we discussed the level of urgency, and that's why we're sitting here tonight. rather
Yeah,
than-
absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The whole reason, so.
Johnny?
Yeah, tell you the truth, Mayor, I don't like it. I don't like spending money we ain't got, but I don't see the other choice. I'm gonna reluctantly go along.
Angela?
Same here. I mean, numbers are high, but
Or
I think
I don't see any other option, so I'm going for it.
Coda?
I agree with Mr. Merle and everybody else down the line.
Shelley? Okay. So I guess I'll entertain a motion at this time.
Make a motion, we approve the purchase of the Spartan Metro Star FY 24 S-180 model 3106 by 12 apparatus.
Okay. Got a motion by Mike, seconded by Merle, to purchase a Spartan MetroStar FY 24 S-180 model 3106 by 12 apparatus. Any discussion?
Mayor, could we add to the motion to authorize the city manager to sign all necessary documents?
Mike, will you accept that amendment?
Yes.
Merle?
Second.
We'll do that. Okay. And authorize CM to sign, okay? Any discussion? All those in favor? Reluctantly, it's unanimous.
I'm halfway up there.
That's what I said, reluctantly.
It's halfway.
So we will get that process going. Does anybody have anything they'd like to see on the next agenda?
can we get a little update on that park equipment? How is it going?
You can, yes.
Anything else? Okay, then at 6:52, this meeting's adjourned.
Money, Mark. Like some money.
Oh,
I'm done.